Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. So I'm going to start off with the date. Today is Thursday. Oh my goodness. October 18th, 2021. And I am just so, when I tell you just living in thankfulness and just with a grateful heart, man, I never knew what it was to have this. I was leaving work today and I don't know what led me to it, but I just started praying. Like, not that you need anything that leads you to prayer, it just what lets me know, God, I have a relationship with you. Because I was just led to pray. And I just was going and saying to him in communication, like, God, I thank you so much for teaching me how to communicate with you and with others. But with you, it starts with him. And I thank him so much with it because I've been having experiences with him like no other lately. Just opening myself up. This amazes me that when we open ourselves up, what he does. What he does. I just been feeling like things that I kind of had in me for years, but I was actually kind of scared to show, has been like out in the open for me to just really, like I explained yesterday, be vast and just grow in it. And I'm just so grateful for it. Man, I never knew what it was to have true conversations. I was a people pleaser. I'm not ashamed to say it. I recognize that now. I was a people pleaser. I'm getting down to the bottom of why that is and why it was. But I'm so grateful that God has been really showing me myself. Where I thought he showed me, like, okay, you showed me this and showed me that. He continues to show me of how to handle it, how to not go into that behavior. So let me say, I had a little incident where it was like, okay, God, you're showing me humility and you're showing me how to handle a situation where I thought that it would be one way. He shut my mouth and opened up my ears and my heart to listen to him. And that was something for me. It happened like, God, I wasn't like this before. And I'm just so amazed at, like, God, you are growing me. You're teaching me how to handle life. Because I was a runner from it. Or not even, you can be a runner from it by not showing up for it, by not caring, or over caring to the point of, let me get distracted. And that's where I think the people pleasing will come in. Let me get distracted with idling work, idling, like just staying, not wanting to grow. So I'll find an area where people be like, oh, she's always hands on and she's doing this. But it really wasn't getting me there because my heart wasn't in the right place of doing it. I did it because it was a distraction from me actually doing what God needed me to do and actually be obedient. I thank him so much for teaching me obedience and teaching me, like, I'm gonna reveal this to you, but I'm not gonna break you to where you won't be able to recover, but break you enough for you to know that you don't need to be acting and behaving in this way. Man, it amazes me how he just teaches and how I know it's him because I wouldn't have done it before. I wouldn't have done it before. And in the midst of him showing me, I feel a stillness and a calmness, and I'm like, I was laughing today because I was like, oh my goodness, is this what this is? You reveal how I can handle it better. So it's not going how you thought it was. But that's because you made something up in your mind that didn't need to be there. But I am here showing you how to handle it. So trust me in it. And that is amazing. I literally was laughing because I'm like, oh my goodness, God, you are doing something to me. What is going on? What is going on? But I'm like, I thank you so much. So I thought that it's like I don't want to be okay. I gotta stop because I recognize it now of overthinking. I don't need to overthink in it. I'm just so happy that he is teaching me how to keep on going and pressing. So I thought that I would be going one way when it came to like my business and everything and work, but I'm actually going another way, and he's teaching me how to manage, basically how to manage, because just because you want to do things this way doesn't mean that it's a bad thing if you get help. If it's a bad thing if you may have to task something out to others. Stop trying to do everything on your own. And I love that because I wanted to do everything on my own, because for years it always where someone helped me. So I'm like, okay, I want to do this, and I want to do it so you can see that I'm doing it. But I truly believe that there's a reason why he wants me to work with others, because that's where, if you want to be a boss, in management and everything. And I thank him mostly because I don't get caught up on titles anymore. But I want to be, when I say manage, not where I'm above someone, but manage as a group. How do you go around to manage everything within the group, but also be able to task everything out as well? Because it's not just where I would, when you're in management, you have to not only manage other people and in the tasks that they do, you have to also manage the personalities, their work ethic, your work ethic and personality. So that's what management is. It's not necessary, oh, I have a title, so I'm above you. Because as a boss, I just think that you always work with, and you have to, because leading your own company, that's what it is. You should never have a mindset of, oh, I'm the boss, so I don't do this. That's your job. You know, having your own company, you are your first employee. You are, because you don't start a company and then you have a janitorial team, you know, a housekeeping team, office manager, and all of that. You are your first employee. So you definitely have to learn how to deal and get yourself together before you start going and managing other people. And then you have to realize that how you work may not be how they work. I am going to have to not, I don't know if I will get myself in a class for management. But I'm going to learn from people who have had companies for years of how did they manage, how did they cope, because I'm really interested in learning how to manage and thrive and go and do. And then also when that time comes for, you know, to have actual employees, then work with the personalities and everything, and then the workload and everything. Because you may have somebody who is wonderful in one area and get hired in this area, but really can work wonders in another area. So I have to learn how that is. I don't want to put as, oh, you were hired for this, so that's what you do. It may be, yeah, you can do that in addition to this over here. Or I see, even though you're hired for office work, however, you don't like to really code, and not like to, but your strength is actually in phones, typing notes, and you may not like to file. You may not have the filing things down, and someone else may have a different strength. That's where I believe that's where teamwork comes in. And this is so weird for me, because I know for me, when I worked at a particular company, my boss, it was three of us. It was a team of three. We did totally different things to make the unit still move. I was in the area where I was the person who I could thrive well with the clients, talk, get any kind of information up and out of them. You know, I was good with case notes, but not like my partner. My partner, she, when it came to anything, input, all of that data, everything, give it to her, bow, bow, bow. Did I still do that? Yes, but not like how she did. When it came to the client, she was good, really good. But her and I kind of seemed like, you thrive here better, so you go here. And that's what I am learning. You have to have the right mindset, and you have to have where humility comes in, for where you don't kind of beat one another down. If I ever could, if she's in a different area of now, I will work with both of them again. Wonderful. But we didn't moved on and had we're still friends, but she's in one area but still kind of do it. But you never know. But you never know. So let me not even say that it won't happen. But you never know. Because when I tell you, this team right here, the team of three, we did some wonders together. And we were just a team within a unit of a company. And it was amazing. So I think God is really teaching me all aspects of how companies go. And one thing I love is that I had to get it out of my head that everything's going to go right away. I want to say that's exactly why he's teaching me how to be an employee, and he's teaching me how to manage and be a boss. And it's a good thing. I don't even think any of this was any of my topic, because my topic, but then again, it was. It can be compared to what I'm going to say, because I was having the talk and prayer with him, and just thanking him on who I am, and that I thank him that I finally am getting to know who Audrey Lane is. And for him to just trust me with myself, that's a big thing. That I feel like he trusts me, where I thought it's like, who would think that, you God gives you yourself back, for you to go out and not have it all for you, but for him, but you living in you. And I don't even know if I'm wording it right, but I get it, and I hope you do too. But when it's like I didn't live this crazy type of life, and I would always get into things, always wanted to people please, always wanted to hang around the wrong crowd. I always wanted to fit in. And now I am so comfortable with the standout. I am so comfortable with the wherever he has me, because I'm in rooms now and around people who, if I in my old thinking, like, what am I doing here? You shouldn't be talking to them. Why are you talking with them? They're not going to find you interesting. The things that our heads play on us. Now it's like, okay, no, I'm going to go talk. I'm going to go have a conversation with you. And by the end of this, I'm going to seek and get more info from you. And I'm finding out that I'm going for info from from these people, corporate management, bosses, spiritual leaders, and everything. And they're wanting to have these conversations with me and contacting me. So I will share with you guys because I have to pray a little bit more on this. But I got some great information and info on speaking. And it amazes me because it's like, wow, you want me to be where? But I'm not going to tell God no. So I have to talk to him to see if this is what he wants me to do. Because I don't need it about me. I'm telling you, he's teaching me how to manage even my own self. It's a wonderful thing. So I'm going to get into this scripture because I really do believe now, and even with me voicing all of this out, because I wasn't even going to talk about any of this. I'm going to read the scripture that had me just like, wow, amazed. So, and we had Bible study tonight too, and this was along the play of what I was saying about the identity, the invisible war that we have with ourselves. So, it is Isaiah 43, 1. It is, but now, O Jacob, listen to the Lord who created you. O Israel, the one who formed you says, do not be afraid, for I have ransomed you. I have called you by name. You are mine. And I'm going to read too. When you go through deep waters, I'll be with you. When you go through rivers of difficulty, you will not drown. When you walk through the fire of oppression, you will not be burnt up. The flames will not consume you. 3. For I am the Lord your God, the Holy One of Israel, your Savior. I gave Egypt as a ransom for your freedom. I gave Ethiopia and Seba in your place. So that earring keeps coming out. So I was saying for myself, back to being created in his image, and back to, I don't need to have a identity war with myself any longer. And I just felt that a couple weeks ago, and he's been showing me more and more of myself and why I need to love Audrey Lane more and love myself like how he loves me. He's been showing me love and showing me how like to embrace myself more. Because I will always say, make sure you love yourself, make sure you love yourself. And with me saying it and speaking it out more and more, he's been showing me more and more of how to love myself and to love myself. Okay, how can I put that together? To love myself and to trust what he's doing in me. Man, I've never knew a calmness like this. I always seen it on people and be like, wow, it's amazing. But I'm also learning that I'm in my beginning and they're in their middle. But I'm going to be making progress. And they're like just talking with people. It's like, oh, I say the same thing. And it's like, I'm in the beginning. And this person that they're admiring is in the middle. You know, I don't think there's ever, for me, I say it for myself, there's not an end, because the end goal for me is to be up, be up in heaven with him. That's the end for me. So it's always the beginning and middle, the beginning and middle, the beginning and middle, the beginning and middle. So don't start judging or any of that, because where you be like, man, I want that. It's a thing that you learn in obedience, you learn in trust, you learn in faith with him. Because I never knew what it was to have a calmness, a joy, a peace, and that you can be joyful with tears. You know, I always associated crying with like anger, crying with loss, crying with fear. I never knew what it was to have a joyful tear. Not too long ago, I was in church crying, bawling, and I told my girlfriend next to me that I cannot believe I'm crying, but I'm happy. Like, these are happy tears. I never knew you could have them. And she was like smiling at me, like, welcome. You can have that. Like, yeah, you can. I'm like, really? You like, you can? Yeah, you can. And it's just so amazing how God works. Mm-mm-mm. Man, just feeling this growth is amazing, because I'm not going to sit here and not make it seem there's things raging around me. There's all kind of things going on around me. My life is, you know, my life. I'm in the middle of a divorce. My daughter is moving back home. My older son and I haven't spoke in a while. We're like baby stepping back into relationship, because we're mother and son, but baby stepping back into the relationship of it more than just the title. You know, I am learning how it is to be in business, how to not just show up and be people pleasing, but to actually be in purpose, to be not idling, just going around and around, but actually movement, not being stagnant, which is idling. And this is all new for me. But I thank God for just the healing and the teaching and all of it. You know, I I was just sitting here in prayer with him, like, God, I'm being like attacked. My name is being like, my character and my integrity is being like craziness. But I'm like, God, I thank you because I'm so peaceful in it all. And this is nobody but you. I cannot explain it, not going off of feelings and emotions, and actually taking the time to say, is this something that is really real, or is this an emotion coming up? Let me sit quietly in you, God, for you to reveal it to me, and not just jumping off the gun, to keep my mouth closed. I'm learning that. And man, that's an amazing thing. Growth is something. I said something to myself today, and man, I wish I would have wrote it down. But grow and go, or go and grow. That's what it was. Go and grow. And mainly that was like, go in the growth, go and grow. Because do you want to stay stagnant? And the shoulda, coulda, wouldas come later, or are you just going to go in the grow? Keep on going and moving. Like God has been speaking to me to just step out there on faith. I never knew what it was to actually do it other than saying the words. But to actually move, I'm like, how do you want me to start this? I don't even have the finances for it. How am I going to do it? But God, I'm going to trust you because you said go. You know, I'm going to be obedient. And then I had to say, no, no, no. You're being obedient. You're going to go. Let him do it. He's going to provide a way. Walked into a situation today, just opening up my mouth, sharing with somebody who I talk to all the time. He comes in every day at my job. Every day at my job. Ask me how I'm doing, and not like the, oh, how you doing? And you hurry up and say, because I have conversations with him. And I just started telling him, like, look, this is what's going on. And he's like, oh, I can help you in that area. Had I not opened my mouth, had I not stopped what I was doing to talk with him. Because normally, especially when I'm in work mode, but I stopped what I was doing to walk back over there to him to like, how are you doing today? What's going on? Because he's been sharing with me about a contract that he's in the middle of getting. And I pretty much know what he do. And he was like, oh, I can help you in that area. I have someone that I can get to help you, because it's totally a little bit different than what I needed from what I'm trying to do for my business, or for my business. I'm sorry, a little bit different for what I'm trying to do for my business. But I just, I mean, because a lot of the times I tell him, like, all right, for Sunday, Men's Sunday, I'm going to see you, right? Because he comes to my church. Not all the time, but he comes. And I love that about him. He'll come. And just opening up my mouth had him like, okay, I can help you here. That's the part of like, man, God, I thank you for trusting me with myself, that I open up my mouth now. That I don't try to carry a load that's not meant for me to carry. That you teach me everything that I need to have for you. That you're growing me in areas that I'm not even asking you for, but I see growth in an area that I'm thinking in my head but never open my mouth, but yet you're still doing it. You're teaching me trust more and more every day. Obedience every day. Kindness every day. How to be just grateful, happy, joyful, pleasant. And like I'm going to say again, being in love, being in relation. That's something. I know I am doing well when I just have this stillness, calmness, and well, not doing well, being obedient and truthful with him. Because you cannot tell a lie. He knows it. And in relationship with him, he'll call me out on it. Oh, yes, he will. He has before. And I thank him for his guidance. When I tell you I can't thank him enough, I will probably say it every day on here, that y'all be like, oh, she owes and she thanks him about 25 times. Yes, I will. The life I live, I am so grateful to even be here now. I thought growing up you had to be loud. I'm the youngest. You had to be loud so people could hear you, so you can get what you need to say. So let me be a little bit mean with my tongue, because that's the only time they'll listen. Or let me be, hollering, cussing, and screaming because I want to fit in with the kind of behavior of what I've seen. Not saying my family was like that, but we can be aggressive women. We don't have any brothers. Blood brothers. I have people who my mom always took people in. So we always have like brothers, but not blood, biological brothers. So we were some rough girls. But I know now that I don't have to fit in to that kind of behavior. And the kind of behavior I'm talking about is just wanting to be anything that's not who I am in Him. So I'm learning more of myself as I'm learning Him. I'm being trusted by my Father. I am being trusted with myself. And that's a wonderful thing. So I'm going to give you the scriptures that we read. And it is Isaiah 43, 1, 2, and 3. Yep, 1, 2, and 3. Wait, wow, 4 is amazing too. Others we have given exchange for you. I trade their lives for yours, because you are precious to me. You are honored, and I love you. Man, I'm so grateful. So you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I will be back on, God willing, with you tomorrow. And it will probably be a little bit late because my church is having Fire Friday. And it's going to be amazing. It always is, like, always is. And the speakers for the evening are going to be amazing. So you guys have a great, wonderful evening. I will be back on. I'm trying to get everything fixed with this phone because for some odd reason it's not putting my videos on until like the next day, and I'm not understanding why. So bear with me, guys. I thank you guys for following, liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting. And you guys have a great evening. I'll be back. Bye now.